Do you have an opinion on medication? You don't have to.
There's a deer right behind you.
Oh yeah.
Just to add substance to this whole video. Well, I am not medicated. I haven't taken a super close look at that, if I'm being really honest. I feel the way about medication that I feel about a lot of things. You know, we've already sort of touched on is it is simplistic to jump on the medication train. We have medication for everything, and certainly my punk rock attitude is directed more at the pharmaceutical companies than the medication itself. The truth of the matter is, there's a few of them. That's what this look on my face is. As overly simplistic as it is to just jump on medication for whatever reason, it's just as simplistic to judge others for using it without knowing the context, etc. So I would say I'm anti knee-jerk medication, but in any given situation, it's not me, it's not my kid. We're sitting here tonight waiting for somebody coming later who I know has benefited from it.
Yeah.
So,
well, I've benefited from it.
Yeah. So, you know, I wouldn't. Let's just say I think we're either blind to the truth on it or overly simplistic. And somewhere in the middle there has to be some wisdom. You overcome things by understanding them. You understand them first and foremost by acknowledging they exist and the scale and scope in which things exist.
And that you're really the only one that has the ability to change it for yourself, right?
Well, absolutely. You know, we've come full circle. It's personal responsibility. And rather than being pessimistic, I view this as uplifting, positive. Like, to be able to say to somebody struggling, I've got fantastic news. And here's what it is. You can change this. Mental health is a health issue like anything else. You don't choose to have it. Being strong or weak has no bearing on, if something like that happens to you. No more than somebody getting hypothermia is strong or weak. You know what I mean? So that, yeah. I would say that, and I don't mean, this is my point, like I don't view this stuff like in these like rah feel good way. I mean, like, I think it's medically, factually, academically incorrect and stupid to suggest someone's weak for having mental health issues.
Yeah.
What if you treated looking at yourself that way like you would cancer? I've never heard anybody like, oh, but I have a special kind of cancer. That there's like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't go to the doctor for this, or you know what I mean? Like, I've never heard anybody talk like that. It's only with mental health issues that you hear people talk like that. And I think, for whatever reason, and I'm not saying they're bad people or anything, they don't want to get better. Because they're stuck in that hard candy coating, that depression.
Do you think that has something to do with the way it's seen in society? Like, not necessarily that, like, I can't go and do that, but just the fear of being judged, the fear of the stigma that surrounds it, right? Like, they don't want that diagnosis because I think that brings on a whole other ballgame, right?
I think when you talk specifically about diagnoses, I think you might have something there, for sure.
Like, I think from my perspective personally, if I'd never been given a diagnosis of schizophrenia, I think the last 13 years of my life would be a lot fucking different.
Yeah.
Because a lot of what I thought was because of that label, right?
Fair enough. And I get that. But I guess even with and I'm not arguing that, let me be clear, but we still come back to, you decided that you'd like to have a better life. No one decided that for you.
No, you're right. Not directly.
Right?
I had a bit of a kick in the ass at a couple points.
Yeah.
I had some help.
Oh, and I'm a big believer in help, and let's be clear. Humans are herd animals. That's the other thing I hate is you get these people who, oh, no one ever helped me. No one ever. Give me a break.
I made it on my own.
Yeah. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
We know that depression is a survival mechanism. That what depression does is it gives your brain a hard candy coating so that bad things lose their sting.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm speaking super technically right now. But
Medical terms only.
only medical terms. And you got a diagnosis for your cancer. You talk to somebody about your cancer. And you know what I mean? And unless somebody, I personally have never met somebody who found out that, like, short of finding out that they had, and terrible kinds of cancer exist, okay? And yes, for the record, I've been around several people who have had different kinds. I've never met somebody who didn't try, there's no such thing as trying everything. But you know what I mean? They tried all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And even the ones who had the terminal kind, did they go and just go to bed and die? None of the ones I did that. A lot of people with mental health issues who don't seek help or don't seek to change things, they're not doing all the things I just said. And they don't realize that you can.